What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent weekend. I think in New Jersey, man, it had to have rained the last 7 Saturdays in a row. Every friggin' weekend we get rain. Then you try to enjoy your Sunday, and then there's football on and whatever else. So this bye week comes at a good time. I hope everybody enjoys stress-free football today. I think the bye week came at a good time for the Jets as well. They won 2 in a row, but they're getting banged up. You can get healthy. You can regroup. You can make some changes. Because this stretch run is going to be really interesting, man, because I think the expectation should be playoffs. This team, can they win 7 more games and make the playoffs out of 11? I think they should. I think they better, because if not, it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment. So I guess everybody always asks now, especially like over the weekend, it's like, what's the Jets record going to be at the end of the season? Like, what's your prediction? And it's hard to say because I'm not the kind of person that goes into the next 11 games and says, you know what, there's so many easy wins for the Jets here. There's nothing easy in the NFL. There's nothing easy for the Jets. We learned this last year, man. We literally went through the same thing last year in terms of we all bought in, like, the Jets should make a run to the AFC East, do this. They end up losing how many games in a row? 6 or 7 games in a row to end the season. You're just disgusted. So I guess for me, it's just like start out this off the bye beating the Giants. Now, that you're like, no kidding, right? But it's really, really important because this team right now has been resilient. They've overcome a lot of adversity, including the injury of Aaron Rodgers. But now there's expectations, and now they've been getting all this praise going into the game for at least 2 weeks, where they're the kings of New York. The Giants are a dumpster fire right now. So the biggest story in New York is going to be the Jets and them making a run to the playoff spot because the Giants are irrelevant. You know, hockey's starting, nobody really cares. The Knicks are back, but the Jets are going to be under the spotlight, and they can't let things get to their head. They can't get too confident because the Giants, while their offensive line is a complete mess, have a very good defense, and we saw it last Sunday against the Bills. Well, they were getting after it, man. So if you have a defensive battle and end up losing that game, then you're sitting here at that feel good of 3-3. You're now 3-4, and you're like, we can't even beat a bad Giants team. So to me, it's like you want to see this team keep building. You want to see them keep growing. Hopefully they're getting a lot healthier. The injury from Tippin, we don't know what that status is, but according to the reports last week, it didn't look good. So who's going to be your new guard? Dwayne Brown's going to be back. How they handle that? I mean, I still keep Beckham at left tackle. But then do they add any pieces at the trade deadline? The trade deadline's, 12 days away, whatever. It's on the 31st. And there's already rumors this morning where Dalvin Cook's on the block, Carl Lawson's on the block, all this other stuff. They already traded Hardman. So to me, it's like, do they add pieces? I would add another receiver, if I'm being completely honest. While I like the fact that Gibson's getting more reps and maybe they could activate Brownlee now, I'd rather have a more prominent wide receiver that has a lot more experience that can add another dimension to the offense. So in terms of just a prediction for the rest of the year, man, I don't know. I can't get into easy games and looking past, like going to schedule, be like win, loss, win. That's really tough. I think based on the talent and the assumption that this offense will get better, it has to. You cannot be this bad in the red zone the rest of the year and be this bad on third down. You've seen glimpses of Zach getting better. You've seen glimpses of plays there that are ready to be made that something goes wrong, whether it's a Lazard penalty or a drop or whatever else. So you got to assume over these last 2 weeks they're going to make adjustments. Having Aaron Rodgers in the building should definitely help that, where they can look at kind of self-scout each other and say, listen, this is what we're doing wrong. Let's try to adjust this. So if the offense makes that not a significant step, I think like a moderate step of just improvement, this team is dangerous. I think they're a team that nobody wants to play if they make the playoffs based on their defense. I think they really need to start establishing the run a lot more, get Breece Hall a lot more involved. You can't have, 60, 70, 80 yards rushing each week. You got to get over 100. But I think that's something they're going to commit to. So in terms of a prediction for the rest of the, man, this is like the optimist Jet fan side of me that just wants to have this great season is going to say this team finds a way to get 10 wins and make the playoffs. But that cynical, that one that has the concerns where what if Zach falters? And the other thing I'll say starting this week, I make Trevor Siemian the backup. Because if Zach does get banged up or does falter, I want a guy to come in the game that can step right in and play good football. I want a more of a known commodity than the unknown of Tim Boyle. So I'll say that. I'm going to say this team wins. I'm going to say they go 9-8. And whether that gets them in the playoffs or not, I'm going to say I don't think it will. And I think that the Patriot loss is probably going to be the one that we come back and look at and be like, son of a bitch, that's a killer. But there's a caveat to this. If Aaron Rodgers comes back earlier, which is just even ridiculous. I mean, it's just mind blowing to even say we're talking about that at this point, right? Because we thought he was out till next year. If Aaron Rodgers comes back for the last 2-3 games, then things get interesting, man. Because then you're like, you know what? Where are they at that point? And then you could change that 9 to a 10 wins. Like, could you imagine like the last week of the season, your Jets are playing for a playoff spot and Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback? Then you're like, I'm all in. Because then you're like, you believe anything at that point. So let me know what you guys think. I kind of rambled a little bit, but let me know what your season prediction is. It's, wins 9, 10, 11. I will say that anything less than 9, I think, would be really a big disappointment when you're at 3-3 now. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you later.